What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hard Park 703 channel. So it is bright and early. We are finally gonna get the vehicle tuned. I came to this decision based off of, it's not like I came up with it overnight. I just really don't like the sound that the vehicle is producing now, right? It's much more mellow, much more toned down, and so I really miss the aggressiveness out of the vehicle. And so I did some research, and the best bet for me, I'm gonna go with Bad News Racing to tune my vehicle. They really listen to their customers. They're all about they're all about performance, but then they love also pops, bangs, crackles, flame, all of that, right? And me, who I'm a very much more of a loud type person, obviously, right? So loud literally, and then loud figuratively, I guess, right? So I want to do all of that to the vehicle, and so Bad News Racing is going to be the way that the tuner that I'm going to use in order to achieve everything that I want to achieve with the vehicle. And so the great part is get this, they will tune your vehicle for max performance and all the sound that you want. But that's not even the best part. The best part is once you're fully tuned, right? With the existing performance parts that you have on the vehicle. Let's say you change it up and you do other performance parts afterwards and everything. You can just hit them back up and they'll retune your vehicle for free, which is such a wonderful perk for them to offer that. They didn't have to offer that. That's them. They're really tied into the community, and they like helping people out, and they just love Corvettes. And so instead of them being extra greedy and charging a retune fee and everything, they're waiving it. And so that's wonderful. Why? Because right now I've only got the headers, the throttle body, the air filter, and then the exhaust, right? But later on I'm going to want to do intake manifold and full intake system, and maybe something else or whatever. But the great part is I don't have to wait until much later to get this vehicle tuned. I don't have to do all those things right now beforehand and then finally contact them for the final tune. I can get the vehicle tuned now. I can get all the sound I want back, get some of the performance benefit, and then enjoy it and everything, be happy and stuff. And then once I put on the other performance parts, I'll hit the back up. And so that is awesome. That's a great idea. Great idea. I'm not trying to validate my idea, but I'm just saying, like, it's great to know that this is very much an option that I can do. And so that's the route that I'm going to go, because I really, really want to get some sound back out of this thing. It's supposed to rain all week. I know it looks sunny out there, but like it's going to pour today, and it's going to pour for like the next 8 days pretty much. So I figured, hey, why not get the ball rolling on this tune? And so let's get into all the things that we got to do. All right, so in order to get to the ECU, you got to figure out where the ECU is on this thing, right? And so on some vehicles, I saw in some videos that it's located like directly, it's underneath the vehicle in the center, like basically right underneath the dash, and you got to remove all the plating underneath and then be able to unbolt and take it out. However, on the 2023 model, I can confirm that it is right here, right behind the rear quarter panel. So what we're gonna have to do is we got to take off the wheel. We just got to bend the fender liner back, and then it's literally right there. It's right on the other side of the fender liner, and so we don't have to unbolt anything. That's the nice part, because the ECU, it's held on, I guess it's called the ECM on these vehicles, because it's the global B platform. So it's clipped in. It's clipped in to a what do you call it? To a mount. There's a plastic mount that's bolted on there, and then the ECM itself, it's clipped in, so that'll be easy to take off. We just got to disconnect I think 3 or 4 connections on there, and they're clips, so we just got to like hit a pin, we got to pop a pin up or whatever, like one of those little red tabs, and then pop them off. And then just to be safe, because the vehicle is going to be sitting for a while, obviously like for an entire week, I don't want to leave any of those connections exposed. So I'm just probably going to use a plastic bag to wrap them up, and then just put the wheel back on and everything. So then that way I can settle the vehicle back down, and then it'll just chill here. So, I mean, it sits here all week anyways. Sometimes when it's like raining all weekend and stuff like that, I don't even drive the vehicle. So this way, it's great. It's a great opportunity for me to be able to do this right now. So yeah, it's really hot. That's why the fan is blasting. But all right, first things first, we got to take the wheel off. Okay, first problem. I don't have a 22 millimeter socket. I thought maybe I did or whatever. I guess my sockets only go up to 19. So I got to go get one. Here is the Big Daddy 22 millimeter socket. Confirm that it is perfect. Okay, so you're gonna need a 22 millimeter socket for your lug nuts for the factory wheels on your Corvette. So go and get one. All right, so now next step. We obviously got to disconnect the battery. So let's do that now. Let's disconnect the battery. Make sure you have everything out of your vehicle, because otherwise if you're gonna have the door closed and everything and the windows up, you're gonna have to use your key to be able to manually open the door and everything. So just make sure you got everything out of your trunk, out of your frunk and everything, blah, blah, blah. So I need to get a jack puck out of my frunk, and then I'm gonna remove the battery, and we'll lift it slightly. Luckily I've got a low profile jack, so that's really gonna help out. And I'm so happy. Speaking of that, I'm so happy I haven't slammed this thing yet. Because if I slammed this, then I would have had to put it up on the boards, and then from there get the jack under there. So yeah, this is amazing. Everything's happening right when it's supposed to be happening. So you got to jack it up from this corner right here. So yeah, let me get the jack puck. Let's disconnect the battery, and let's get to it. All right, so battery is right under there. Just start with popping off the two side plastic pieces and then the centerpiece. So everything's just literally, it's clipped in. So these just go like this. These are like that, and then you just start popping them out. It's very easy. Just obviously be delicate with it at the same time, because you don't want to break any of these. So then you'll have access to the centerpiece. It's clipped in the four corners. So you just pop it off on one, then you come to the other side, you pop it off, and you just wiggle it a little bit, it'll come off, and then you just slide this out from underneath right here, and you are good to go, because now you got your battery. And so now we just got to disconnect the cable, and then just set it aside. Just make sure it doesn't make connection with the terminal, and we'll be good. So it's a 10 millimeter, so just get yourself a 10 millimeter deep socket. Will probably help you to clear this lip right here while you're unscrewing it. And then just make sure you put your wire, just tuck it down, so then that way it doesn't make contact with the terminal. I just tucked it down right there, and so now it's wedged underneath the battery, I guess you would say the battery cap right there. And so that's not gonna pop up or anything like that. So we're good. Just grab your jack puck and just put it into the spot, which is right here. So the one that I have, it's a thick rubber. So you just slide it in and then you twist it, so then that way it doesn't come out. So it's just hanging there right now. And so now it's just waiting to get jacked up. So just get the jack into position, but don't just lift it up yet. Make sure you wrap your socket with some type of protective wrap, coating, whatever you want to do it. I just used electrical tape, but you can use a towel and stuff like that, because you don't want to mar the wheels. For that matter, like scratch them, whatever. So just make sure you put it here, so then that way, in case it like slips off or anything like that, it doesn't damage your wheels. So I just put a couple layers of electrical tape there, and it wouldn't help to if you want to use like a towel or something like that. But my extension comes pretty far out, and then my ratchet will be here and stuff, so it's not gonna scratch the paint or anything. So yeah, just be careful when you're messing around with your wheels. You don't want to damage anything on your vehicle or anything. So just a couple little like protective layers of whatever you want. Here's another little secret of mine. Considering we are going to untorque the lug nuts a little bit before we raise the tire off the ground, you might not have enough torque depending on how long your ratchet is, right? So I came up with I make myself sound like a genius. I'm really not. It's just get yourself more leverage, right? So you can just maybe fit a pipe over your ratchet, And this way you get a lot more torque, and it's that much easier to take off the lug nuts. So it's another little bit of advice that I've got for you guys. You want to see what a piece of junk this is? This no-name brand ratchet, right? I don't even know where I got it from. It was my dad's from like 1 billion years ago. Look at it. Look how bent it is. So I put it on here, right? And so look how bent it is. Look at that. I put this on there. And so then I started trying to, you know, loosen up the lug nut. And I was like, why does that feel like the lug nut's loosening, but not really? And so then I take this off. And I realize that thing is completely just about to snap. This thing sucks. All right. Well, I've got a torque ratchet, whatever, here. So, all right. I guess I should have just been using this one from the get-go. Look how much bigger this one is than this one with the extension. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, this thing sucks. Well, so much for that one. God knows where this thing was made, but all right, so this should do the trick. Tidbit of information, obviously, for anybody who is familiar with vehicles. You can disregard this. Anyone who isn't really into working on their own vehicle, this is important. Always work in a cross pattern. So when you're torquing and untorquing lug nuts, or for that matter, anything, basically there could be plates and whatnot that have multiple bolts and stuff like that across from one another. You always just want to start with one, then you do the other one, then you come back, do that one, then you come back, do another one, then you keep crisscrossing, okay? So then that way, when you're tightening and untightening stuff, you do it correctly. You don't want to go in like a circle. That's wrong. So just always crisscross, and you would say star pattern, whatever you want to call it or whatever, but just always across from each other for tightening and untightening. So now that the wheel is off, we've got plenty of room to work, obviously. So we gotta remove the screw from the rear diffuser right here. We're gonna have to take off this rock guard. And then where is everything else? Okay, so that's one right there. That looks like it's an actual clip. So that's a Torx. That's a clip. That right there is a Torx. And then there's another one right there. So 3 Torx. 1, 2, 3, and then the clip. So that should allow us to pull this fender liner back, and we are in business, because like I said, it is literally right, well, I guess that's a little too far in. I think it's like literally right here, right behind this. So clip is out from right there, and now these right here, the 3 that I was talking about, right? So the 1, 2, third one right there, they're all T15s. So just get yourself one of these and you'll be good. So, all right, so I figured had I removed the diffuser and then taken off the rock guard, that would have been it. However, I found more bolts. So I think there's 3 of them. Yeah, it looks like there's 3 of them. So one right there, another one right there, and then the other one right there. So actually, hold on, let's see. Maybe is this one? No. Okay, so just 2. That third one's not touching. Yeah, that third one's right there. So just 2 of these. Okay. I believe those look like, well, let's find out. All right. So they are they are 7s. So go ahead and get a 7mm and just take them off. Yeah, cool. All right, hey, guess what? More bolts. So just removed the diffuser, and then got to this this bottom bolt right here, right, which is also it's also a 7. There's a whole bunch of 7s. These are all 7s, by the way. So it's gonna all be the same bolt size. So, okay, just get that off. And then as soon as you remove your rock guard, come to find out there's more T15s. So 2 more T15s. So 1, 2. Get that off, and then I think this should be able to come off. Man, that was all. These fender liners are really, really secure, clearly. So just started pulling this back, and guess what? So take this out right here, just bend it back a little bit, and there you go. There's your ECM right there. That's the big silver piece right there. And you've got all the harnesses. I was saying wiring, I'm sorry. I guess it's the harnesses that run to it. So you see how it's clipped in to the black piece underneath it, behind it, right? You see that clip right there? Well, that's what's holding the ECM in place. So you don't have to even unbolt that big mount. So that plastic mount stays there. You just unclip the ECM after you remove these harnesses. And so these harnesses are in there. You can see right there at the very top. It's awesome. You can see it right through the vent. On the opposite side, you just need a pick in order to be able to move those red tabs. And then that's it. Remove the red tabs, and then you see how the harness is there in place on top of the ECM. So you'll just use probably like one of those like plastic tools in order to pop off that little clip. So then that way you can have the harnesses loose, and then that way you can wiggle out the ECM easier. Let's do it. So I was wondering why I couldn't move this further back. There is another hidden T15 holding this in place. This is why I can't move it from this corner. It is hiding right there. See, so that's the T15 right there. So it's right down there. So I just got to take that one off. Man, that is a lot of rigidity to this thing. Structure, support, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so I'm going to remove that so I can move this further back from the bottom. And then that way I don't have to worry about taking it all out or anything. I can definitely access in there. All right, so for this next part, get yourself a pick. I don't have a pick, so I'm just going to use a really small Allen key. We got to pop the red tabs. So let's see if we can see the red tabs from here. Can you see the red tabs? All right, you can slightly see the red tabs right there on each harness, right? So there are 4 harnesses, 4 connections being made right there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got to pull those. You got to pull those tabs. Okay, from this angle, we got to pull them down towards the rear of the bumper. However, if I'm looking through the bumper, and then you can see the red tabs right there. You got to pull the red tabs here. If we're at the back of the bumper, you got to pull them towards you. So you just got to pop them down. So point being, right, we're looking at it in the right orientation, right? So if the tabs are right there, red tab, red tab, red tab, red tab, 4 of them, we got to hook them and then pop them down. So we got to pop them out that way. So just hook it and then pop them down that way. And then you're going to have to depress the connection right there, and then you can unlatch them. So it's not difficult. It's not rocket science. You'll see what I'm saying once we get those tabs down. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Well, forget the Allen key idea, forget the hook and all that. That's if the ECM is out of the car. From this angle, just get yourself a long, thin, flathead screwdriver, and you are able to do it. So you see, 2 bottom ones I haven't done yet. 2 top ones I already removed the, not removed, but I'm trying to focus with the other finger. There we go. See, they're already pushed back. Very easy to do. All you gotta do is just get this corner right there on the tab and then just boop, pop it back. So, all right, just gotta do the other 2. So considering I don't have the angle, since this is long, I'm just gonna use a smaller one. So then that way I can maneuver my hand back here since there's less room right here for these 2 bottom ones. All right, so right behind each one of the red tabs, there's a little button. And so when you push the button, I'm not gonna be able to film this. Crap, okay. Maybe. All right, so right behind the red tabs, there's a button that you push. As soon as you push that button, you can now lift the lever back. So you get what I'm saying? So this lever is down here, right? So you push the red tab back. There is a button that you push. You'll hear a click, and now you can move this back. And that's gonna remove the connection. So you just do that. So here, look, I'll do it. I think we'll probably be able to hear it on one of these top ones. So let's do this top one right here. Okay, where is it? I'm pushing the right spot. Okay. So there we go. See? So you heard the click. Now I can move. There we go. See? So now I pushed back the lever. Now I gotta do it for the top one. So we'll do it for the top one. So right here. Where is it? Go, pushed it down. That one didn't click too audibly, but now I can move that back. We're all set. Just move those out, and now you can pop them off. All right, to show you how much I push back the lever. So you see how the top one still has that lever right there, and those other three now have the levers all the way back. So I'm gonna try to. So just push the levers. As you push the levers back, it's gonna pull these out, like it's gonna pull them out towards the side of the bumper. You'll see them move, and then that way you just wiggle them out of spot. You get what I'm saying? Like all four of them, you just, once the lever goes all the way back, as you see, you'll just, you'll now be able to pull off all the connections. So I pulled the bottom one loose. So this one's already out, as you can see, right? Before you pull them all out, or it doesn't really matter, I mean, you could pull them all out, but then this right here, you see this right here where my finger is? This is on this, right? So it's on like that. You see that? Okay, so you need to pop this thing off. There you go, now it's removed from the ECM, right? Because that's connected to the ECM. Then there's another one that I see, it's right there. So you just gotta pop this off. Where is the... okay. Let me do it. In order to get the top one out, there's a little tab right here where my finger is. You gotta push the tab down. It's so difficult to focus on this thing. All right, there we go, right there. You see that tab? See the tab right there on the gray piece? There where my finger was? You gotta pull this tab down, right? So as you pull that tab down, you'll be able to pop it off. The bolt, screw, whatever you want to call it. So same thing with the top one, I already got it off. The tab is on the other side of the wiring. So it's on the far side of the wiring. Bring your hand around, so then that way you can hook it from the other side. And then that way you can pull it off, and so now it's off. So now it's completely loose, so now I just gotta finish getting all these off, the other three off, and we'll have access to the ECM. I'm seeing right now, okay, so I see one clip right there for the ECM, and then I assume the other clip is opposite of that on the far side. So as long as I can pull this clip off and then wiggle it towards us, I think we're in business. We'll give it a try. All right, the harness is off, so very easy, very easy. So now that it's off, you see, like, these are the parts that were connected to the ECM, as you can imagine, right? So there's your ECM in all its glory, and then that's the connections right there. And so now I'm gonna wrap these up in plastic, so then that way no dust gets into these connections. But yeah, look, let me give you a better example of, see what we had to do here. So this was, all right, well, I guess this only works with when it's on. The point being, okay, this was flipped up, right? This piece right here was flipped up. This is the button that I was talking about. You gotta push this button down. There's a little like switch, okay? You see? So the little red tabs that you pulled back were to here. You pull the red tab back to there, right? So it's like you use your thumb, pop the red tab down. Right after that, you depress this. As soon as you depress this latch right here, you'll be able to pop it back. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right, let me put it back. That's all said and done. The ECM is clipped in right there. That's one clip, and then the other clip is there. So you do pull the ECM out towards you, and then you just slide it right in, because the tab in the back doesn't really matter. You don't need that little clip right there. It's just gonna, the weight of it is gonna slide towards us. However, I'm noticing that we're probably gonna have to untighten that. We're gonna have to take off those nuts right there. So that's one right there on the bottom, and then the other one's right there on the top. So yep, we're gonna have to do that, because that's where it's getting stuck, because I was trying to wiggle it out and I was like, it's not coming. But that's it. I checked the back of it, and there's nothing there. There's no, I know it's hard to see right now because I'm looking right through the mesh, but there's nothing holding it back here. So I think it's just gonna be just those two. So let's do it. Those two nuts. I think they're actually, so I think they're like reverse screwed in. Those nuts don't come off of that bolt right there. It's screwed in through the back. So it's like that nut is like welded in place on that bolt, if you get what I'm saying, on top and bottom. And so when you're untightening it, it's untightening from the back. Let me see if I can zoom in. You see what I'm talking about? Like on the back side, right there's where you're unscrewing it from. So you're gonna need I started with a deep socket. It's 10 millimeter, by the way. I don't remember if I just said that, but yeah, so it's 10 millimeters top and bottom. And so here's a deep socket, but I'm starting to max out the length of that, because now it's hitting this heat shielding. So just get yourself one of these little swivel ratchets and just take it the rest of the way home. All right, that took forever because there's like no room to play. So I got them off right there, and then got them off on the top. This is how long they are. That's why it took forever to unthread them. I thought the threading was out here. We had to unthread all of that, top and bottom. So I ended up using the socket for the bottom one, right? So for the bottom one, and then for the top one, it's just easier to use the ratchet itself. So that sucked. Okay, let's pop this off. See if this comes out. So nice and easy, right? Okay, there we are. ECM is in my hand. Oh yeah, there we go. Coming out right now. Nice and easy, nice and easy. And there we are. There is the brain of your car. All right, well, nice and hefty. All right, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, let's just set this thing into the box that I'm going to use for shipping. All right, and let's tidy everything back up. So let's take a look at that mount, that plastic mount where it was held into. So there you go. There's the plastic piece, right? So you're just gonna leave that in place. Obviously, you can see that there's a tab on the back side, and then there was a little tab right there. So obviously you just had to remove that tab, and then it slides out towards you with the weight of the, I was gonna say the device, but yeah, the weight of the ECM. So yep, you just gotta remove those two bolts that were a pain, and then that tab is a piece of cake. So all right, let's just slide. I'm gonna tuck all this back in, and then just clean this up, and we'll put the wheel back on and torqued it, lowered the vehicle, let everything rest where it needs to be. So I kind of have an idea of where all the bolts are and everything, blah, 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 right? So then as soon as I get the ECM back, we are back in business. So yeah, and then I just left the this hanging just right on top of a box because I don't want to put that much flex on it. I gotta send the ECM to get unlocked. So HPtuners is gonna do that. So I already purchased their ECM unlock plan, whatever you want to call it, last night. So I got the printout. You got to print it out and put your VIN number and your order number, and you put that in the box that you're going to use to ship your ECM to them, and then you just use whatever carrier you want to. I chose UPS because I get a discount through them. So I'm going to send that off. I'm going to go to the UPS store right now and send it off. I just got to put their, I guess I got to print the shipping label, but their address is very unique. It says HPtuners, and then it says attention, blah, 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 like E99 Global B tuning platform or something like that or whatever. And then it says put your order number here and stuff. But on the UPS website, when I'm trying to put the address, there's no spot to put all that additional information. So I don't know if I should print it out here or if I should just do it there. But anyways, I might just write it on the box as well. So yeah, that's another bridge to cross with my anxiety up. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna send that off because I want to have it shipped today. So then that way it'll get back to me hopefully within a week, and then that way I can put it back in. So yeah, I got to get the ECM unlocked before I even contact Bad News Racing in order for them to tune my car. So I'm gonna have to send this off. I've got the MPVI 3 on its way to me now. I'm gonna have to get 8 universal credits to tune this vehicle. So I'll purchase the 8 universal credits, and then that way that'll be on my MPVI 3. I got to connect that to the VCM editor or whatever. That's the HPtuner software on the laptop. And yeah, we'll get all into that. But first things first, I got to send this ECM to HPtuners. So that's where I'm going to leave off with this video. And then I'll pick it up, I guess, when I'm doing some more tuning stuff or whatever. So as soon as I get the MPVI 3 or whatever and I connect it to the laptop and whatnot, we'll go through all that. So it's been about a week. I just got my ECM back from HPtuners. So let's open up the box, let's get it reinstalled, and then let's fire up the car, and hopefully it fires right up. There shouldn't be any relearn procedure or anything like that. It should just be plug and play and good to go as if I had never removed the ECM. So I'm hoping to God that that is true. So yeah, we'll fire it up as soon as we install it.
All right, well, here we are.
Sweet. They do a great packing job as well, so that's awesome. You don't have to worry about your ECU getting damaged in the process of shipping or anything like that, because they ship it just as well, if not better than the way I sent it out. They even bubble wrapped it, so thank you so much. All right, let me open this up real quick. Check this out. This is awesome. So they leave their mark on it, so then that way you know that they unlocked it for you. So you got HPtuners sticker right there and then right there. So now I got myself an HPtuners ECM. That's dope. All right, let's get to it. Harnesses are out again, and take off the plastic bag. Now just pay attention to the colors on your ECM. So gray, short black, long black, blue. This way you'll know what order to plug them back in. Obviously, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. You see them in order right here, right? But just in case, you know, I don't know, for whatever reason yours gets scrambled up or something. So you see gray, short black, long black, and then blue. So, pretty straightforward. All right, so now that you clicked your ECM back into place, remember, all you gotta do is just slide it into place, and then you've just got that one little black tab right there that I'm looking at right now. So it'll hold in place, so you don't have to worry about holding it there. So you just need to put that long bolt on the bottom right there, and then the other long bolt right there, right above the HPtuners sticker. These two right here. Put these on, so then that way it's held nice and tight, and then we'll get to installing the harness. All right, so don't forget to use a deep socket 10 millimeter for those nuts, because the bolt is obviously like welded to it, so that's going to prevent you from using standard socket. So you'll need one of those deep sockets for obviously top and bottom. But yep, it's secure. All right, so now let's plug in the harnesses. All right, so as soon as you plug them back in, just remember to right where my pinky is, slide this latch over, and then once the latch is over it, and just make sure you obviously don't forget about the locking tab. So push that back in and you'll be set. Well, I'm gonna try to do this while you guys are seeing me. Okay, so I got the top one in, right? So my fingers right here, you can see my fingers moving, 2 fingers right there. I'm gonna now go ahead and move that lever, pull the lever, right? And you're gonna hear a click, and that's how you'll know it'll be good. So pulling it now. I'm pulling it now towards my elbow, obviously, so. There you go. You heard the click, right? So now that I've got the click, right? So now that I know I've got the click, I just got to slide that red tab. So now where my finger is right here, you see my finger wiggling. It's on the little red tab, and now I'm just going to click the red tab up. Click. There you go. All right, so get the next one up. It is the short black one. So got it in there, right? So about to pull the lever and then hit the little red tab. So I'm not going to do it for all of them, obviously. I'm just proving a point that you'll hear an audible click and then you'll be good. So, all right, pulling it towards me. You heard the click. All right, so now I just got to find my finger. There's my finger on the red tab. That's another click. Boom, you're good. All right, 2 more down. All plugged back in and secure. So now we just got to put this fender liner back on with a bajillion of these T15s, and then one plastic clip pretty much. And then I just got to put on the rock guard, and then screw this back on, right? Because I got to take this back off. I got to let this hang down again. I got to let the diffuser hang down so I can get to one of the bolts under here, which I think is a, what was it? I think it was a, nah, it wasn't one of these, I don't think. Well, whatever. It's a bolt down here anyways. So yeah, so I just got to let the diffuser hang down, get to a bolt down there, but then I got to obviously put the fender liner back on with all these. So not hard, just take your time, because remember, there were a billion of them everywhere. So just double check and triple check your work. You don't want to have one left over, or hopefully I've got all of them here, because I've left everything here for like the week. So I'm hoping I'm not missing one. Yep, I was right. It's 2 7s. So just got to get off that one and that one in order to put this one back on, which goes basically, where is it? Basically right here where this indent is. It's like above that. So yeah, I'm just bringing this up just in case like you have the same diffuser, or you have a diffuser that's similar or whatever. Just don't forget, like, you got to do all these steps, right? So just do everything in complete reverse. Wheel back on, and then make sure we torque everything down to spec, which is going to be 140 foot-pounds of torque. And then we gotta what? Oh, then we gotta remove the puck. Don't 140 foot-pounds of torque. That's all set. And then just make sure you obviously crisscross, right? So you start with this one, go to that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, and then do another loop. So battery reconnected. So I set it down right there, right underneath the lip there, so it wouldn't make contact. Lift it back up. And it slid down to make good contact, and then you just tighten it down with your 10mm. And now let's put on the top shroud. So the top shroud, there we go. Just slide it into place. Just make sure that goes underneath that lip, and then just clip it into place. You've got clips there, and then clips there. And then we'll put the sides on. Well, all the lights are on and everything. So battery has a charge, which I would assume it did, considering it was only sitting for a week. Ooh, that nice new car smell, considering I haven't opened this door in an entire week. I love that new car smell. It just will not go away, and I don't want it to go away. I love that. All right, so I got the wrong keys. Got the keys to the C7. Let's try this again. All right, let's valves open. Okay. Looks like everything is on. There aren't any warning lights or anything. Open, then close. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Okay, open, then close passenger window. Open, then close passenger window. Okay. All right. Open, then close driver window. Okay. Huh. Cool. All right. I guess it does this little check to see if everything's running correctly. All right. So let's reverse it out. Yes, I know I'm close to the doors. The car's wide. I don't know how a Z06 would not fit in my garage. Yeah, Z06 is not going to fit in my garage. All right, stop. You're freaking me out. I'm not going to hit anything. Shut up. All right, there we go. Perfect. Coming out. Dude, this thing is right here on the door. Dude, the mirror's barely clear. All right, well, we're in good shape because everything is running perfectly. All right. Back in park. Let's mirrors. Okay, cool. Air conditioning works. Everything's solid. There are no warning lights or anything, so perfect. All right, we're back in business. The laptop and everything. I'll show you guys the software that we need, how to update it, how to plug in the MPVI3 to it, and then make sure you've got all the drivers and everything. Everything's good to go. So then that way it's reading it correctly, and then you should have your credits. If you don't, then I'll show you where all that stuff is. So we'll get into it. And then from there, I mean, I just got to now contact, Bad News Racing. So then that way we can finally get this thing tuned. So HPtuners, they already did their part. So thank you very much for sending my ECM back unlocked. Everything is perfect. The vehicle started right up again. And yeah, so we'll keep the ball rolling. All right, so first thing you're going to want to do is go to HPtuners.com and you're going to want to click on downloads. It's going to take you to this page right here, and you need to download VCM Suite Beta. Do the beta. Do not do the other version. You need beta. All right, so just beta. Download that. Obviously, extract all the files and everything. Blah blah blah. All the applications. You can put them on your. What do you call it? Desktop. And you'll be good. So now you're gonna need, for the next process, you're gonna need VCM Editor. And so this is what VCM Editor looks like. This is very basic, obviously. You're gonna have to go to Help in the next step, and then you'll have to do a couple things. But before we get into that, all right, so you need Windows-based laptop, tablet, whatever, Windows-based device, okay? And this is a really, really old one. It's like a first gen Microsoft Surface tablet or whatever. But I've had it around forever and stuff like that. And I mean, it just serves this purpose. It's just for tuning purposes. So I've done this for all the vehicles and everything. And so it's still working like a dream. So there we go. All right. So you need that. Then you also need the MPVI3, not an MPVI2. MPVI2 will not work for C8. Okay. So you need the MPVI3, and then you're going to need 8 credits from HPtuners. So if you already purchased that, fantastic. If not, you can purchase it during these steps. It doesn't really matter. But you need to purchase those credits, and they need to be, well, they're going to be attached to your MPVI3 based on the serial number, right? So you're going to give HPtuners the serial number, and then they'll set you up with the credits, and then you'll have to sync the device, right? You'll have to sync this MPVI3 to HPtuners, right? And so that's where I was talking about, like, you'll go into Help and everything, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get into the car. We'll repeat all the steps and stuff. But yeah, so you need the Windows-based device. You need the HPtuners VCM suite, right? So you can open up VCM Editor. And then you're going to need to connect the MPVI3 to the vehicle. So you're going to connect the MPVI3 to the vehicle through the OBD2 port, right? And then you're going to use this cable to connect the MPVI3 to your laptop, tablet, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to go through the rest of the steps. So let's get to it. All right. So OBD2 port is right here where my finger is. So just go ahead and put the MPVI3, plug it right into it. I'm plugging it in correctly, right? I can't even see. It should be in there. Yeah, it's in there. Cool. Sweet. It's green. That is a good sign. All right. So let's grab our cable here. Running an extension cord because the power is all the way over there. So, okay. So USB goes to the laptop. I don't know why I'm filming this, but deal with it. I'm helping you guys out, so. All right. So USB-C. Okay. there we go. USB-C, USB, gonna run around the back here. All right. We are. Do I have one? It's right here. Sweet. All right, cool. So now that the MPVI3 is connected, now we're going to be able to resync it, and that's going to allow the credits that we purchased to be added to our MPVI3 device. All right, so after that, we need to go to help, do resync interface. All right, here we go. All right, so you're going to need an internet connection the entire time, so just make sure you have a good internet connection. I'm fortunate enough that I do have a great internet connection here in the garage. All right, resync completed, 8 credits added. See, so there you go. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. This will collect information. Resync completed, so everything's good. So now we can just close this. Okay, awesome. Now, the next step is to turn the vehicle on, and by that I don't mean putting your foot on the pedal and then turning it on. You're not going to fire up the vehicle. You're going to put it into that like on position or whatever by holding down the start button for 7 seconds. So you're going to hold it down for 7 seconds and the vehicle will fully like light up. I don't know if it's called like service mode or diagnostic mode, whatever. But anyways, all right, it's on now, right? Cool. So now we move back to here. What is happening? So many noises are happening. This is it's gonna beep the entire time. All right. Well, just it's gonna beep the entire time. Whatever. All right. Sorry, guys. Just deal with it. All right. All right. Let's. We are going to read the vehicle now. So you know what? I might just shut that door then. I might just shut the door. Let's just get this read real quick. All right, so let's read the vehicle. All right, vehicle is being read right now. Let's see what it says. If it prompts you for a firmware update or anything like that right now for the MPVI3, go ahead and do that because, yeah, you'll need that. If it doesn't, then great. Okay, so vehicle reader is on status right now, so you need to gather info. Do not click read. You need to gather info. So go ahead and gather the info. All right. So it should be doing something because now the buttons are grayed out. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, perfect. There we go. Hardware, blah, blah. Okay, go ahead and click the read button. All right, cool. Read completed. Let's see. Does it say anything else? Nope. Okay, so that was everything, I guess. All right, I thought it was going to say, like, you have to turn the vehicle off now, which I think I do. So let's the read button. We got the pop-up that said the ignition must be off. So we just got to hit the button real quick, right? So you just got to turn the vehicle off. So hit it once. Okay, there you go. Everything is off. Now go ahead and click OK. And it should do its thing. All right. So there you go. It's reading, retrieving flash data. Turn ignition to the run position. Engine off by pressing and holding the engine start, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so the exact same thing that we're going to do. We're just going to hold it for 7 seconds and turn it back on. All right, so after you held it for 7 seconds, everything came back on. Now the vehicle, the air conditioning is on. All these other extra settings are on and everything. The mirrors folded out on their own. So let's click OK. All right, so now we're getting something else, right? So now the vehicle went into like another mode or whatever because now the all those extra air conditioning settings and everything turned off. So let's see what it says. The tune file has just been supplied. It's a stock file all right, the tune file is a stock file because this control module is not readable. It is perfectly safe to use. If this module has been previously tuned, you will lose any existing changes, blah, blah, blah. Click OK on the message. And then we're going to save this file because this is our stock file. All right. so there we go. Okay, perfect. This is awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this under, yeah, probably gonna save it in the exact same spot as my Z06. So I'll save it differently. I'll save it as, well, whatever. Let me come up with the name. Let me put my phone down. Let me come up with the name, save it, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I just saved the file. It basically saved to, I think, like a folder on my desktop. But anyways, all right, so once your stock file is saved, now you got to do the licensing. So now you're going to come up here to write vehicle. You're going to click on this. So let's click on that. All right, so there you go. Now you got to do the license options. So let's go to the license options. There we go. Okay, there you go. See, so now you got to move the from do not to specific, right? Because you've got 8 credits. So you're gonna hit that. Now you're gonna hit OK. Okay, there you go. Hit OK. Are you sure this action cannot be undone? Yeah, I get it. There we go. Okay, vehicle writer. Status, I am gonna assume that I have to click right in order for it to work. So let's click right. Gathering information, processing flash data. All right, ignition must be turned off to the off position before writing can begin. Once ignition is turned off, press OK. All right, so let's turn the ignition off. All right, everything is off. Let's click OK. Controller initiation failed. Why? Why did it fail? Why did it fail? Failed. Doesn't make sense. Well, it's okay. Vehicle ignition not detected. Okay, so we're gonna do it again. Okay, so let's turn the vehicle back on. All right, so we gotta turn the vehicle back on. Okay, it's on now. All right, let's do it again. Doesn't make sense. All right, so let's write. Gathering information, processing flash data, 100%. Ignition must be turned off. Must be to the off position before writing can begin. Once ignition is turned off, press OK and continue. Okay, so off as like normal. Okay. All right, and then OK. Erasing. Okay, so this time it's going through. Okay. All right, thank God. Yeah. Remote tunes always freak me out. Just because like the steps that I gotta do, right? You gotta do things correctly, or you could brick your vehicle. So, oh man, crisis averted. All right, turn the ignition to the run position. Engine off by pressing and holding the engine start. Yes. Okay. All right. So. Luckily, we got past that step. Let's hold it down, right? 7 seconds. Whew. All right. There we go. All right, cool. Vehicle is on. All right. Let's go to OK. All right, there we go. Right, completed. Okay, awesome. So it's completed. It's completed, so I don't have to hit right or anything, so I'm just gonna hit close. So we're done with that. Everything was completed. You just close that. You can close out of VCM editor, okay? But do not turn off the vehicle. Leave the vehicle on. Get out of VCM editor and then open up VCM scanner. So VCM scanner is the other application in the suite. All right, the software you're about to use is beta, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes. All right. Now we are going to come up here to the blue car icon, connect to vehicle. This is how we're going to start the procedure for a full reset. So there we go, opening interface. There we go. Okay, it's going through its steps. It's great. Detecting supported parameters, all of this. Okay, cool. I guess it just disappeared on me. We need to come here to the check engine light symbol, diagnostics and info. Let's click that. All right, so now you're gonna see DTCs. There are no DTCs there, so I don't need to read any DTCs or anything. We're just gonna clear them. So we're gonna click clear. And so the way you know this is gonna work is when you click clear DTCs, you're gonna see your daytime running lights flash. So if I click clear DTCs, I'm gonna focus up here. Okay, so let's clear DTCs. Okay. Yep. All right. Perfect. Sweet. I saw it. So we can clear. Let's clear it again. Let's just do it for fun. Let's clear it again. Just make sure it works. All right. Clear DTCs. There we go. Okay. Cool. So that means this worked. So as soon as I hit this, the daytime running lights flashed. Okay, so we are done. So now you can exit. You can exit out of VCM scanner, right? So now scanner and editor are both exited out of, and we're done because we don't need to take any logs at this point. I just need to send the stock file at this point to Bad News Racing. So I'm just literally just disconnecting right now the cable for the MPVI3, disconnecting the MPVI3 from the vehicle. There we go. We're good to go. And so, yeah. I mean, it's, I was going to say it's a painless process, but it's not. It's very nerve wracking because you don't want to screw anything up in the vehicle. Most people do this whole procedure with their door closed. I leave it open. The important part is do not touch anything in your vehicle while you're doing this process. It is literally just your laptop and the ignition button. Don't press any settings, nothing. Don't turn off the air conditioning manually or anything like that. Don't mess with your side view mirrors, the windows, nothing. You don't touch any settings or you could screw something up, apparently, right? That's a big drive home right there. So my vehicle was open from the get-go, so I didn't want to close it in the process or anything like that. So I just did it with the door open. I don't think there's an issue with that. Just make sure you don't touch anything in the vehicle during this whole process. I email Bad News Racing file and the serial number of this, and then that way they can work their magic and everything. They can send me the modified file back. I'll flash it to the vehicle. And we'll go from there. They're going to work their magic, and then they'll send me a file back, and I'll just go through the procedure of how to write the file to the vehicle. I'm not going to jinx myself and say, oh, it should be fairly simple or whatever, but, you know, just my anxiety will go up at that time and everything, but hopefully everything runs smoothly. But yeah, we'll pick it up as soon as I get the file back. All right, so just got the file back from Bad News Racing. I'm going to go ahead and flash it on the vehicle. I've got the vehicle right now on a battery. Right, so we are in the vehicle. First things first, grab your MPVI3, and you are going to plug it into the OBD2 port, which is right here underneath your, I guess, the e-brake, right? So you're just going to plug it in. Okay. Should be in, right? Yep, boom. There you go. It's green. All right, so now I just got to grab our cable. Sorry, I'm doing this with like two hands and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. USB-C cable. Plug it in. All right. And then obviously the USB is going to plug into your laptop. In this case, my tablet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I guess right here. All right. We got to resync the interface. So let's open up VCM editor. VCM. Okay, VCM. Let's open up VCM editor. Should be loading, I think. Should. Should open. There we go. All right, cool. Yep, software you're about to use, beta. Yep. Understood. All right. So here is my file that I got back from Bad News Racing, right? So BNR Flame S3 Ghost tune, right? Okay. So that's the file that we're going to use. So I already got that saved in a C8 tune folder, right? So close that out. And that's the file that we're going to open. However, before we open any file, we got to resync the interface, right, for the MPVI3. So let's resync it first. And then after that, then you can open up your file, and then you can write to the car, and we'll go through that, right? Because you're gonna have to turn it on, turn it off, blah blah blah. So yeah, like I said, you got to resync the interface first. So I think it's help first. I think so. Do I need the car on? I think I need the car on first, though. Yeah, I think I need the car on first. So we're gonna hold it down, right? Hold it down. Okay. What? The key is... why is the key in... the key's right here, man. The key's literally right here. What? I don't understand. Is that key that dead? All right. Let's do it again. All right, holding it down. All right, well... so hood is open, obviously, because it's charging. It's going to do this the whole time. All right, cool. All right, great. All right, so we just got to go ahead and go to help. All right, so we got to... come on. Why aren't you opening? There we go. Help. Resync interface. All right. Is connecting rating from interface, blah, 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 submitting request, download, resync completed, great. Okay, so now that's all done. Okay, cool, so close this. All right, well, you guys just saw that. So now that it's resynced, now let's open up the file that we are going to use. It's open now, so we've got the file that we need. We are going to write now to the vehicle, right? So you're going to click the write button on there. Okay. There we go. Okay. Right calibration, right? So everything is good. All right. Let's go ahead and hit write on there. Where is my cursor? Right there. All right. Let's write to the vehicle. Everything is turned on. Okay. Opening interface, gathering information. Processing flash data. Ignition must be turned off before writing can begin. All right. So we are going to push the button once. All right. Everything is off now. That screen should go off. Go away. Vehicle's off, so we should be good. Just making sure. I think we should be good. We should be good. We should be good. All right. It is off. All right. So click OK. Requesting access, erasing, blah, 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 blah. Right. Okay, so this literally took seconds. Not even minutes. This took seconds. Look at that. We're at 70, 90. Turn the ignition to the run position by pressing and holding the engine. Click OK. All right, so we are going to hold the button. 7 seconds. Sweet. Okay. Let's go ahead and click OK. The mirrors just opened up on their own. I remember that happened last time. Write completed. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I think we can hit close. Now that you've written your new file to the ECU, all right, you can go ahead and close this out. All right, so close it out. you can close VCM editor, but don't turn off. Do not turn off the ignition. You need to leave the vehicle on because now you're going to use VCM scanner. So go ahead and exit out of VCM editor. Let's open up scanner. VCM scanner. Okay. All right. Now that we should open. Come on. I was literally about to say the next step, but obviously it has to open before I can say the next step. Okay, yep, I get it. It's in beta. Yep. Okay. All right, so from here, scanner is open, and we are going to click the blue car icon right here in the top left corner. There you go. Opening interface connection, opening interface, requesting data, requesting calibration. Okay, it's gonna run through it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess we're good. We're good. So now from there, we got to go up here, scroll a little bit to the right, and we got to go to this check engine light. So hit here for the diagnostic. So you got to click this, right? All right. So we're going to click this. Okay. And we are going to clear DTCs, right? So you got to clear them. Every time you clear them, you'll know it worked because your daytime running lights should flash. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the clear DTCs button, and I'm going to see if my daytime running lights flash. So let's click it right now. Okay, nothing happened, I don't think. Let me click it again. There we go. Okay. All right. That seems to have worked. Okay, let me hit it again real quick. So I hit it again, right? Because I think I don't know if they're on or off. I don't know. All right, let's hit it again. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah. All right, so I saw it. All right, so that's it. I mean, cleared, that was it. So now you exit. And now we can exit VCM scanner as well, because that's all we had to do. All right, so, yep, you can go ahead and turn off your car. So I just did that. Just hit the button once, right? The start button once, and then it turns it off. Then you can just close down shop, pretty much. So you are done. Go ahead and disconnect your MPVI 3, right? Okay. We're all set. Nothing is hooked up into the vehicle. Open the vehicle gently so you don't like damage it with wires or anything, blah, blah, blah. Right? So, oh, and considering I'm about to back up the vehicle, I need to remember to close the mirrors, but let's crank this thing on and see what it sounds like. I'm going to switch it to Z mode, and I'm thinking right now I've got just enough time to drive back to the shop and see what it's like driving there or whatever. And then, yeah, that'll be the initial tune right now. But then I got to do data logging. I just don't have time to do data logging right now because there's no reason why I can't data log. I'm just a little tired. Just got off work. And I just want to drive the car around a little bit, see what it's like, first impressions and whatnot. And then tomorrow I got to wash the car. And then there's a car show the next day. So anyways, I'll do the data logs like after the car show or something like that. I mean, it's fine. The vehicle will drive right now. It's just I'm not sending them any data. So I will send them data for another trip, right? Because I'll have to connect a laptop and leave it running there, and then it'll collect all the information. But anyways, all right, let me clean up all of this stuff. Right, let me get all the wiring out of the way and everything, blah, blah, and then we'll start the car up and we'll start seeing what it sounds like. Yeah. Important part is that the car turns on, so let's find out. So it does not have the cat bypass thing on. It's in touring, but at least it's starting. So there's a chop, right? There's the ghost cam chop, and then there's crazy backfire. Like, I mean, go spider. Sorry. The backfire is insane. It's gunshots. It's gunshots. It's not bops or burble. They just gave me gunshots. So there's still a lot more to add to the vehicle, right? There's a lot of things that I asked for that haven't been added yet, but this is the initial tune, so I need to give them feedback. So I got to do data logging and everything. But we'll do first driving impressions as soon as I put the camera. All right, so there's the chop from the ghost cams. Yeah, it's very loud. Sounds awesome though, and trust me, on the inside it's so dope. It is so loud. The chop is so loud. So like when you're just kind of creeping forward or reversing, the chop will be on, so the ghost cams will be on, but as soon as you start getting going, it goes away. So, which is nice, because then that way you're not bouncing around in your seat too much. Why do I say that? Because the chop in here, I guess the lope, you feel it in the fake lope. You feel it in your seat. The whole car is shaking side to side right now, just FYI. So, all right, right there. Okay, right now I'm literally shaking side to side. My thighs are just moving side to side. So the whole car rocks back and forth side to side, just like as if you had real cams, which is so dope. I've never experienced cams before. I've never even sat in a vehicle with cams. I can honestly say I'm very happy that this is just a tune, because I don't know if I would want a car with cams. I don't think I would want to do this all the time. So what I'm asking Bad News Racing to do is, because they haven't given me that part yet, have this cam and the crazy sound and everything like that, right? Like my backfire and the flames and all that, have that in Z mode, and then leave my touring mode alone, right? So then the vehicle starts up in touring, it'll be in quiet, because I asked for a quiet start mode, right? So it'll do that catalytic bypass, like the warm-up cycle, like I said. And so everything will be quiet, and it won't do any of these sounds or anything like that. It'll just be the added performance per se in touring, right? And I never drive in touring anyways. It's more for just, I don't want any sound in touring. And so at least that way I could have it in touring if I just don't want this at all. But then when I want to be like obnoxious and everything, I can just put it in Z mode, and then I've got all this. But right now, I mean, I'm literally talking to you and I'm shaking back and forth. It's uncomfortable because I'm just trying to chill, and you're not. You're literally rocking back and forth with the whole car. So you can hear it right now. I'm gonna pull forward a little bit, and you'll hear it go away. So let's pull forward. You can hear it, right? My foot's not on the gas. Foot's on the gas. There you go. Went away completely. So I'll come up to the stop sign and you'll see it. You'll see it come right back. So right now it's back to the way the exhaust sounds, right? And so now I'm gonna creep up to this. Let me raise the vehicle first. That's a steep. All right, I'm gonna have to do a pretty crazy turn because I can't make that. All right, I'm gonna have to go this way first. But yeah, you can hear the cams, right? They kick back on, and now they go away. See? So that's awesome. All right, so the actual driving impression. How does it drive? Did you feel any performance gain? Yeah. Throttle response is slightly better. It picks up just that much faster. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, this is the initial tune, so just keep in mind I gotta send data logs back to them, and then maybe even a third time or whatever. But it does pick up faster.
The shifts feel good. My pops aren't there anymore, like they're completely gone. So maybe that had something to do with the tune, like as in maybe the sound went away there and then it comes at another point or something. I don't know. I got to talk to the tuner. But it shifts fast, just as fast as before, just as smoothly, and it picks up speed. So I don't know. I mean, it feels a little bit quicker than what I had it. So like I said, we got to do some refinement and whatnot. But I want you guys to hear the pops. The pops are insane on this thing. I don't know if I want to do it here. I'll do it. I'm not going to do it right here. I'll do it in a second because this is where normally cops hang out. That wasn't even intentional. I didn't even do that on purpose, and it backfired. Dude, that is sick. I'm learning the RPM range where it pops. So it's at about like 3,300, 3,400 RPMs. And that's just little. That's a little bit. That is a smidgen. Wait until I downshift. This is so bad. I thought I blew out the valves. I thought the valves like were just probably broken, even though they were in there. I thought they would have like blown out or something. It was just the most violent pops I've ever heard in my life. I wasn't expecting that at all. And so yeah, it was pretty intense. There you go. That's a little glimpse right there. That was really loud. That's nuts. Wow. Now the chop kicked in, see? I'm at a full standstill, now the chop kicked in. It goes away. See? Now, nothing. Dude, this thing drives like a dream, though. It did not affect the drivability at all. The drivability is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, with the initial tune, it's not like the vehicle is screwed up or anything like that. The only time you're rocking back and forth is when you're just chilling, like at a standstill. So you don't have to worry about like rocking back and forth, creeping at like 3-4 miles an hour or whatever like that. It only happens up until like 1 mile an hour, and then it completely goes away. And so I think that's awesome, because if you're like really creeping slowly through a car show, it sounds really, really good. And then like you backing into your spot and everything. I mean, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. Bad News Racing really knocked it out of the park with the Ghost Cam. And I'm sure he can probably, the tuner, I don't know the tuner's name, but I'm sure the tuner can probably manipulate it a little bit more or whatever. I mean, to me, it sounds good. I don't know if it's supposed to sound this way, or maybe it's supposed to sound more aggressive or not as aggressive. I don't know, but I'm gonna talk to him about it. And I'm gonna be like, hey, I love the sound and stuff like that. So either he can leave it as is, or I don't know, manipulate it in some way. But then the backfire is so dope. But then, yeah, like I said, the added performance is fantastic, and the vehicle just drives amazing. So can't ask for anything better. All right, that's like the only time I'm ever gonna do that in my neighborhood. I will not be doing that again. That is crazy. Dude, that thing is nuts. This thing sounds so good. I'm not gonna do it though. So I pulled it in the garage real quick just to straighten out, but I'm about to wash the car because tomorrow I got a car show, but I put the windows down. The rear end is out of the... That is so loud. The chop sounds so dope. That is so awesome. I love it. I freaking love this thing now. All right, I've got it down kind of where it normally makes the sound. All right, I got it. So it's about So between like 3,000 and 3,500 RPMs is where they set me up. Where Bad News Racing set me up with the like the crazy backfire, and that's awesome because I thought I wanted that crazy backfire at like 1,800 RPMs. I was like, well, I want it to backfire all the time, like when I'm just cruising up to a light and everything like that. And so I'm almost certain the tuner was probably reading my email and was like, I don't think this kid knows what he's getting himself into. Then again, I never do. I always screw things up. As you guys have seen with my videos, I always assume things are going to go according to plan, like the way I visualize them in my head, and it really just doesn't turn out that way. So I'm really happy that my pops and bangs and everything are at much higher RPM, so then that way I can just cruise around normally and everything and don't have to really worry about it just like freaking me out or whatever like that, even if I wasn't like expecting it or just wasn't intentionally trying to do it. See? So that's awesome. See? And so now at the 2,200 RPM mark, nothing. So yeah, that's it's very exhilarating, right in the chest. So it's awesome. And now I'm rocking back and forth because of the cams. So the cams are dope too. I'm starting to love the cams. Like, it was weird at first, like rocking back and forth, but now it's dope. So you can make it pop slightly if you want to, or you can just make it go crazy. So I just did a little bit right there, but okay. Yeah, this is awesome. Like, you have best of both worlds because of the fact that you can drive super aggressively if you want to and make it sound like that, or you can just downshift normally and it doesn't do it. All right, I think I'm done. I'm going into the neighborhood now. It's crazy, dude. That is nuts.
All right, so we are about to data log, and so the tuner asked for some idle, some part throttle, and then some full throttle. And you probably want to give some runs between, dead stop through fourth gear, or maybe even a pull from third gear. I'm gonna give them everything. So I'm gonna take it up on the parkway, and then I'll do a couple runs. But it's best not to do one big file, So then this way you can. It's easier for them to look at the data if you break it up into pieces. So right now we're just gonna do the file. We're gonna do idling, right? So it's already warmed up. It's a warmed up start. It's not a cold start. But first you got to open up. Well, first things first, right? Connect your MPVI3, obviously, to the vehicle, right? And then you got to resync it, and you're going to resync it with VCM Editor. I already covered how to do that. So then you close out VCM Editor, and you open up VCM Scanner. So now that you've got VCM Scanner open, you're going to connect to the connect it to the vehicle. So there you go, your interface, gathering vehicle information, right? Okay, now that you've connected to the vehicle, you're going to want to open up the channel that they sent you. They probably sent a channel or something. So, for me, they sent a file. So, open channel config. I believe it was under my C8 tune. Yep, there we go, BNR C8 channels. There we go. So, that's the one. I'm going to open that up. Cool. Okay, so it's open. So now we are going to start recording. So I'm going to hit recording, right? So I'm going to, is it recording? Oh, cool. Okay, so it's recording live data now. So now what we can do is we can actually start the vehicle. So now it'll know what to do. So let's start the vehicle. There we go. Okay.
vehicle's been idling now for like 3 minutes, so I think that's enough idle for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Right, I'm gonna hit stop. There we go. We stopped it, and now technically we can turn off the car because I'm done. First file, I guess. Cool. I guess that makes sense. C8 idle first file, and we'll save it there under C8 tune. So I'll send this back to them. Okay. So we'll save that. Okay. That should have something in it. So let me just make sure it's not like doesn't have like 0 added to it or something like that, right? Like 0 kilobytes. It should have something. 6 kilobytes. Okay, so that's the channels file. This is the idle file. So, okay, well that should be it. So awesome. Okay, so now they want part throttle and they want wide open throttle. So you're gonna do the exact same thing. So basically, you're gonna obviously open up the channel again, right? You're gonna open up the channel, and then all right, let me close this out. So you're gonna open up the channel like you did, right? And right now because right now I'm saved as my first idle or whatever. So I'm gonna open up the channel again or whatever, and then you'll go ahead and what do you call it? You'll go ahead and record it, right? And then you'll start the vehicle, and then you'll go out and do your drive or whatever, blah blah. Or you don't even have to do it right here. I mean, I can literally just pull off on the side of the road or like in the neighborhood real quick, start recording. Right, then go and do part throttle and stuff like that for a little bit or whatever. Then go into a neighborhood, stop the recording, and then save that file as part throttle or whatever, right? So then that way you stop it or whatever, and then you just keep doing that over and over with all the different files that you want and need and that you're going to send to the tuner. I'm beginning to learn the tune a little bit, so I've learned 2 things. Depending on how hard you push down on the brake, the cams, the chop, right, will be louder or quieter. Now, so I'll show you that. But then also, I'm really starting to learn like where it's popping. Like if you want just one subtle pop, crazy pop, a little bit of like a burble, it varies. It varies. And so, no, not yet. No, wait for it. See? So that wasn't as crazy as before. So I just let it drop down to about 2,000 RPMs, and then it hits roughly 3,000, and then it gives you more of that subtlety. If you go way past 3,000, more like 3,600 or whatever, that's when you get the crazy burble and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I forgot to say, the data logging is done. So I found a perfect stretch of road. It was from light to light, and I could just keep making U-turns. And waiting for traffic to go by, and then I was able to do a bunch of digs, and then I was able to also do like the rolling wide open throttle. So that's great. I'm gonna send it all to the tuner, and yeah, it was very easy. You just start recording again. You know, you save your file, then you start recording again, and then you stop it. And so it was very easy. You can hear the chop. Yep. Another one, and then you'll hear the chop. I'll show you the difference between the chop, like I said. Ooh, that was a good one. See, so it varies. Now here, listen to the chop. Watch. All right. So my foot is slightly on the brake, right? Like I'm not rolling forward. It's barely to the point where like it's preventing me from rolling forward, but my foot's barely on it. So it's very loud. Now watch what happens when I put my foot down harder. You see how it went away? Yeah. We'll do it again. We'll do it again because I'm at a red light. All right. Foot barely on it, on the brake. I'm not rolling forward. Hear it? Now my foot went down onto the brake harder. Now you don't really hear much. right, now I'm gonna let go a little bit. See, it got louder. So it's literally just me moving my foot just that much on the brake. So that's awesome. I love it. All right, let's make it go quiet again. There you go, now much more subtle. Now louder. And the shaking is much more like violent in a way, you would say. So that's something else too, if you don't want it to rock you too much. So like if you want more chill cams, put your foot hard on the brake when you're stopped. If you want more of that rock and everything, you want more of the visceral sound and everything, right? That guttural just, why am I getting so excited? I'm sorry, it's just, I friggin' love noise. So, wow, the sun went away very quickly. All right, but anyways, yeah, so now you guys have heard it. Easy, take it easy. 2, 1. Yeah. So, all right, foot barely on the brake. Very violent, shaking. Hear it, right? Pretty loud. That's pretty loud. Now foot going harder on the brake. It went away. What? I am back home. I need to send them the file.
So it has been a couple days since I sent over all the data logs that I collected to the Bad News Racing tuner. And so he did his wizardry and everything, blah, 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 and has now sent me back a refined file to upload to the vehicle. So now I've got my refined tune. And he's pretty hyped about it. So I'm hyped about it too. He was like, hey, just FYI, you know, like you were saying that like the throttle response was like barely increased. And he said, yeah, that was the point of it. Like, I'm not trying to have you blow anything up. So normally tuners will send you a very, not limited, not docile. I guess the term is a very very safe tune, I guess, right? So then your power is not maximized, right? They need to get all these data logs first in order for them to really, you know, do whatever they got to do. And so anyways, he was like, hey, this one's going to be night and day difference. So if it's too much, I can tune it down, but I think you're going to really, really love it. It's going to be very, very responsive. And so I'm like, all right, I'm down. Let's do it. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to upload. We also talked about the pops and bangs and all that, blah, blah. It is fantastic. He's going to try to refine it. You got to plug in your MPV i3 to the OBD2. So it's right here. Right there. Okay, it's on. Should go green or something, I think, normally. There you go. Boom. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let's plug in our cable. Okay. There's the other end of the cable. The other end of the cable is right here. Cool. USB goes right here. Okay. Boom. All right, so now, what is this? Virus and threat protection summary? All right, cool, whatever, I don't care. All right, so now that we've got it plugged in, right, so we're gonna have to resync it. So open up VCM editor. There we go, VCM editor. Okay, let's do tools, I believe. Is it tools? I think it's tools. No, it's help. It's help. Yeah, so help. And then resync interface. So that's the first part. So let's resync the interface. There we are. Please connect. Reading interface. Submitting request. Download completed. Resync completed. Fantastic. All right. Okay. So now that the interface is resynced, let's turn the vehicle on. So just hold down the button, right, for 7 seconds. Okay. Everything should come on. There we are. Okay, everything's on. We're not gonna want the that whole beeping to happen. So let's just close the door. I've got my laptop, well, tablet, whatever you want to call it, plugged up, so then that way I can close the door. And let's do it. Okay, so next step is we gotta open up our new file. So let me show you the file that he sent over. Here are my files, C8 tune, right? So this was the original, right? This was the first initial tune that they sent me, right? And so now this is the newly updated one, right? So different naming, not naming convention, but different name, obviously, so easy to identify. And obviously you can just look at the, you can look at the date that was modified, right? So that's the one that we are going to open. So I'm just going to minimize this. We're just going to come up here because it's still, obviously you can see the old one right there. So what is this? What's this button? Open file. And then this one's, all right, so open file. All right, so open file. Let's do right there. Okay, so that's it. Boom. There you go. Open. Okay. All right, so now you can see it's open there. All right, and so now the vehicle is obviously on, right? We are going to write to the vehicle. So this is the part that either have your door open or have the door closed. Remember when we did the original walkthrough, the door was open, so it was beeping constantly. In my experiences, it hasn't affected anything except for it just beeping in your ear, but just don't touch anything in the middle of the writing process, right? So if your door is open, leave it open. If your door is closed, leave it closed. Don't touch anything. Just do this. So, all right, so let's just go to write. Yeah, come on. All right, any day now. Hit the right button. All right, there we go. Cool. All right. Everything looks good. That makes sense. Let's write it. All right. Gather information. Processing flash. That was really fast. That was really fast. Okay, so ignition must be turned off. Okay, so just hit it once, right? Just hit the start button once. Cool, cool. All right, everything is off. Okay, now we can click OK right here. All right, so I think now, all right, so now it's actually writing. Okay, now it's really writing. What? Can I help you? What is beeping? What is beeping? Don't freak me out like that. Don't freak me out like that. Everything's good, right? Everything's good? We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. See how fast this is? So this is kind of why I don't really worry about my battery draining. I don't have my battery connected right now. But this thing takes literally less than 1 full minute. Like if I wasn't filming right now, the process of flashing the ECU and going through the whole process, I'd say between 1 minute to 2 minutes total, like like everything included. All right, so turn the ignition to the run position. Okay, so before we click OK, hold down the button, hold it 7 seconds. Cool, cool, cool. Everything's on. Okay, let's hit OK. All right, does that every time. Write completed. Okay, awesome, fantastic. We're good. We're in good shape. Everything's good. So that's obviously your sign right there where you see green completed in the top corner right there. You are good. So now you can close this. All right, so let's close this. Let's get out of editor, but we are not done. Do not turn off the vehicle. Do not turn off the vehicle. We are done with VCM editor, but we're not done with the suite itself. So now, while the vehicle is still on, we need to open up VCM scanner. So like I said, we've got the vehicle on and we need to go to VCM scanner now. So editor is done. So let's open up VCM scanner. All right, so VCM scanner is open. We need to connect it to the vehicle, right? So the vehicle button. Okay, let's click the vehicle button. There we are. Interface, getting vehicle information. Okay, cool. So now we've got the little check engine light button right here for diagnostics. So now we need to go there. Okay, cool. Now we got to clear the DTCs, right? And so remember, when we hit the DTC button, we should see our daytime running lights flash. So I believe the daytime running lights are on right now. I can see kind of like the reflection of it right there off of the refrigerator. I'm sorry, freezer. But let's click the clear DTCs button. Okay, let's clear it. All right, I saw them flash. So let me clear it again, so then that way you guys can see. All right, I'm gonna click the button right now. There you go. You saw it flash. We are all set. That's all you had to do. So now you can exit out of all of this. Your laptop, tablet, whatever you're using. You can disconnect now your MPVI-3 from the vehicle. You can turn off the vehicle. You can roll up your window, whatever, do whatever you got to do. And then you're good to go. So now when you fire up your vehicle, you've got the new tune on it. Have fun, enjoy. If you need to do more data logging, we already went through the data logging process, so you can go through it again if you need to. If not, you're good to go. I'm going to go and swap out the vehicles because I've got a car show Saturday and Sunday, which is tomorrow. So I'm going to take the C7 tomorrow, and then I'm going to take the C8 on Sunday. So it gives me a perfect excuse right now to go and drive the vehicle to pick up the C7, right? So, okay. Yeah. Well. This way. Okay. You see, remember when I was telling you about playing with the throttle, like depending on how hard you have, not the throttle, I'm sorry, the brake, depending on how hard you push down on the brake, it gets louder or quieter. Well, obviously when you're backing down your driveway, you're going to be moving your foot a lot off the brake, so yeah. But anyways, okay, let's get to driving. I haven't even gotten on it, obviously. So I can already feel something, right? Like when I'm just literally accelerating very, very gently, just coasting through the neighborhood in a way. So right now I'm out of the neighborhood. There's so much traffic. It's because all the kids are getting out of school right now. This sucks. But I got to be back in time for another meeting. Yeah, it definitely picks up a lot faster. I don't know what went into the tune to make it faster, but I do notice the RPMs shoot up a lot faster. And so I know this is just an engine tune, it's not a transmission tune. So I don't know what goes into the engine tune to make it feel more responsive or whatever. Now granted, you can talk about throttle body and intake manifold and all that type of stuff or whatever. I don't know what parameters they messed with, but it feels really, really good. But what I'm seeing here on the dash is that the gears are holding. I don't know. I guess you wouldn't say the gears are holding longer because, like I said, they weren't manipulating the transmission, but it shoots up higher into the RPMs as opposed to shifting at a lower RPM. And so I don't know what went into that, but it definitely feels a lot more responsive. So that's great. Yeah, I mean, the exhaust is louder too. I've even got burbles now because of the fact that my RPMs are higher. Like right now, I'd normally be at like, I don't know, probably like 2,500. It was just at like about 2,800 holding fourth gear. And so now I'm in fifth gear. Oh, okay. Coming over the hill, there's a lot of vehicles. Because right now I can't do anything. All I can tell you is that it's very responsive, but I can't really get on it right now because the exhaust is very, very loud and there's a police officer all around me. So, well, that sucks. All right, anyways, it doesn't matter to you guys because literally I'm just going to snip the next section in. But yeah, so I'll pick it up tomorrow. Just know it's extremely more responsive. Like, it's a night and day difference how much more responsive this throttle is. So that is awesome. Whatever the magic was that they did, right, that the tuner did from Bad News Racing, thank you so much because this thing feels awesome. So I haven't even hopped on a highway. I haven't even hopped on a 45 mile per hour road yet. All these roads right here are like 30 miles an hour at most. So
if this is what I'm feeling right now, I can't wait until I just keep increasing the speed. So yeah, I'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, so new day. Let's talk about driving impressions with the new tune. It is a monster. Before I had this tune, I was left wanting so much. Like, there just didn't feel like there was enough power in the car. And now with the tune, it's really, really peppy. It's really peppy. First through third gear, like when I'm just accelerating from a light or anything like that, you know, making a turn and holding third gear. I mean, dude, this thing moves. I keep saying it, but it's true. The fact that it feels like there's a lot of power on tap. You've got a lot of power reserved for when you're about to accelerate. Like, you've got your foot on the throttle and then you're slowly going into it, and you can feel that there's a lot of power about to be unleashed. And I never had that feeling at all whatsoever before this tune. So Bad News Racing knocked it out of the park with their engine tune. It feels great right now. So like I said, first through third gear, like right now, it picks up so much faster. It picks up so much faster. I didn't even have to really think about putting my foot down, and this thing just already went from first to fourth gear in no time. But I would say the craziest part of the tune would probably be, I guess, either third or fourth gear, because when you go wide open throttle from third or fourth gear, I mean, this thing is just boom, 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 running through the gears. And not even just that. I would say this thing is hitting spiderweb. Sorry. I like ate half of the spiderweb. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, okay. So, the RPMs, right? Okay, so it's not so much that you're just banging through the gears. It's holding the gear. And so, of course it's holding the gear. I'm doing manual. I'm manually shifting. So yes, all right, let's be clear on that. I'm not just going wide open throttle in D, in drive mode. I'm manually shifting. But the shifts feel different. For whatever reason, they feel different. And so for that matter, you're hitting redline. You just keep hitting redline, and you're just banging through the gears, and the thing just keeps pulling. It just keeps pulling. It doesn't stop. Now, granted, obviously, I hit the next pack of traffic at, like, I don't know, like, on these roads that I'm on right now, like, I was just on the parkway and stuff, but there's traffic and whatnot. I mean, you can only hit like about 100, 110 before you really got to slow down big time before you hit the next pack of traffic in front of you. But I would say from 50 to 100, it's like nothing now. It took that much longer before the tune, and now it really, really wants to go. And this vehicle now, I guess back before the tune as well, like, the vehicle really responds well at like 100 miles an hour. Most cars aren't engineered for like super high up speeds. But this vehicle feels right at home at like 100 miles an hour. One, you don't feel like you're doing 100 miles an hour. And two, you have so much power left over. You're at 100 and you downshift from there, and then you mash the gas. It's like as if you were doing it from zero. You have that much more power. I mean, I don't know what the top speed on this thing is. I don't know if it's, 200 miles an hour or something, maybe sub 200, whatever. Point being, it feels really, really good. Like right now, I'm accelerating normally. I'm not showing off or anything like that. Like, I'm not accelerating more aggressively than normal. And yeah, I'm gonna let this person get in front of me because this person's trying to get over. So go for it. Point being, it really just it gets moving. It's moving. It moves very, very smoothly, and it's great. As aggressive as it is, it's amazing still for daily driving ability. You don't feel like, oh my God, this thing is like shaking, vibrating all over the place, blah, blah, blah. And this thing is just not practical anymore for daily driving. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. Not sluggish at all. And that's what I'm saying. This is just the engine tune. And it doesn't feel sluggish. So imagine what the trans tune is going to be on this thing. Like, dude, this thing's going to be a rocket ship. It's really going to make it feel more like a Z06. And so I can't wait. I can't wait for a trans tune. Right now, if I'm this in love with the engine tune, my goodness, I can't wait for all the things to come with this. And the bolt-ons that I have are very minimal right now. is cat back exhaust, cat delete, the headers, throttle body, and then a filter, not even a full intake system. So right now, if you want to wrap up the bolt-ons, intake manifold and intake system, and that should definitely liven this thing up even more once I do a retune with those parts. And then the last things that I've got left on the table would be heads and cams, right? Before I do forced induction, and I'm not going to do forced induction. At that point, I'm probably just going to sell this car and then get the Z06. To be honest, like, oh, maybe it's different for some people, or maybe it's in my head or something, blah, blah. It's not. You're going to feel the difference the very first time you drive the vehicle. I haven't stopped smiling since I put the tune on it. I mean, I don't ever stop smiling let's be real, I don't stop smiling ever. But point being, when I'm talking about the vehicle, man, dude, I love this thing. And so yeah, there's not much more to be said. I mean, the performance is there. This thing is just solid. This thing is so dope. And then, like I say, the sounds are crazy too. When you just accelerate aggressively, now when you let off the throttle, this thing just backfires on its own. I never used to get that, and then you used to have to be in manual mode in order to get those pops. Now you get the pops and bangs and probably flames. I just haven't driven the car at night, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting flames because it's tuned pretty aggressively. The sounds are just there. The sounds are there in manual mode, or the sounds are let off, and now I'm about 2400. It's not in your ear. It's fantastic. This is awesome. Now, granted, I've got my mufflers back on, right? Because I had the Corsair exhaust that bypassed. There were no mufflers whatsoever. I went deaf. So, of course, this goes into play with what kind of exhaust system you have. But point being, if you've got mufflers and you don't have it valved, because I don't have it valved right now. So if you just have mufflers, when you're chilling and cruising, minding your own business or whatever, just enjoying the day, it's not annoying at all. It's not annoying. You can have full conversation with your passenger and everything. And that's awesome, because I told B&R, hey, I want super crazy loud sounds. And so they gave me all the crazy loud sounds at certain points, right? So right now I'm idling. If I put my foot down on the brake hard, mellow, right? You can hear it. I'm going to let off the brake a little bit before I start rolling forward. There you go. Now you can hear it a lot more aggressively. So I can be that guy, or I can be more reserved, right? Or I guess for that matter, you can be more mature. But point being, yeah, have fun with this thing from 0 to 60. You can have this thing from a 40 roll. I mean, you can keep having fun even at 100 miles an hour. So there's nothing much faster, much more aggressive now. When I would say linear power, when I was describing the C8 before, it's almost as if I was using it as like the excuse for why it's not as fast as my C7 Z06. Because the C7, like, it instantly just goes into boost and then you're just shot off. This one, you creep into it slightly. Well, now with the tune, you're creeping into it a lot faster. The power's there. I missed it. This guy didn't let me go. I was gonna do a pull. I guess we'll wait for these cars to go. Get out of my way. So if I downshift at like 2,600 RPMs, or about between 26 and 2,800 RPMs, it's gonna be the crazy super long gunshots. If I let it go down to 2,000 RPMs and then downshift, so then it basically hits like 3,100 RPMs, it gives me a much more subtle type of pop. So it's really cool. Like I said, you can manipulate the sound by knowing when you're gonna shift in the RPM band. And so it's nice that it's not just constant, non-stop, just gunshots in your ear, right? Like that would be, I guess, in my opinion, annoying. The fact that you can't manipulate it, the fact that you can't control it. And so the fact that I have so much tunability, adjustability from Bad News Racing, it's awesome. Like I told you, I can control the ghost cam chop, and then I can control my pops and bangs. And so that to me is priceless, because that's giving you so much more enjoyment for your daily driving and whatnot, because some days you want to be super, super annoying. Maybe some days you just don't want to be annoying at all. And so for that matter, you don't have to be if you don't want to be. And like I said, right now I don't even have the valves wired up, so they're not closed. So when your valves are closed, I mean, dude, this thing, totally chill. You can take this thing to work. You can pick up your kids. I mean, I don't know. I guess your kid. You can one child. I guess can only fit. I got a little bit of room in front of me now. I can downshift so you can hear it. Dude, that freaked me out. See, that's me letting off the gas. Dude, this thing shifts so like. Car. Okay, all right. Chill. Jeez. It was like in full race mode. I was like, all right, relax. Coming back up to traffic. Dude, this thing is nuts. This thing, it's so fast. It is so fast. Okay, like, I haven't really done that from like 25 miles, like 30. I hadn't done that. And so I definitely spun. I was doing that earlier, like when I was at like 40 and higher. So it was hooking. This definitely just really, it puckered my butt. It definitely puckered my butt. So. Dude, this thing, I told you, this thing picks up so, I just spit, I'm sorry, but this thing picks up so fast. That is nuts. I'm telling you, this thing feels much closer to a Z06 than a Stingray now. Like, if it was, instead of it being 50% Z06, 50% Stingray, right, like somewhere in the middle, I can't see anything, jeez. It's closer now to the Z06. That throttle input, the throttle response, whatever you want to say, was insane, phenomenal. BNR, I friggin' love you, okay? Like, Bad News Racing is where it's at, dude. Wow. Dude, my heart is racing. That's how fast this thing picks up. It's insane. I didn't even hit 5,000 RPMs. Watch. So that was me shifting closer to 3,000. Good. Sorry, somebody cut me off. Right here. Sometimes there's a cop chilling right here. Yeah. Dude, 75 miles an hour. Wow. So from 56 to 75 miles an hour, dude. Dude, absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And now that it's like all warmed up and everything, you're gonna listen to the downshift. Like the downshift sounds so good in this thing. That's second gear right now. Right? And then, see, so, that was 70. Dude, the exhaust is nuts. That's 4,700 RPMs. Telling you, dude, a wide open throttle, this thing sounds so much like an exotic. Chilling, right, like cruising and stuff like that, more American muscle tone, right? But then, man, when you're just going wide open throttle, this thing screams, and it's very much an exotic sound. And so I really, let's do some pulls. Dude, this thing is a monster. This thing is a monster. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. That exhaust opens up so nicely. Ooh, take a turn quick. Uh-oh. Dude, this thing hugs those turns so nicely. I love this sound. So fast. That was 2 gears. And I already had to slow down. I was already at 85 miles an hour at 2 gears. That's nuts. Wow. love this thing. Quick little pull. You run out of road so fast at this speed. And I mean, I don't mean like at such a high speed. I just mean you can't really do too many pulls in my area. You come up to the light before you realize it. And so I can only get up to a certain speed. I was only at 78. I literally did a pull right now from 38 to 78, and I had to just let off because we're out of light. So I want to turn here on the highway, or parkway I guess you would say, and do a pull. And right across from me, police officer. I literally have a car in between me and the police officer. Those two lanes are open, and I refuse to take them because he's right in front of this car. And so I was like, nope, don't know if he's going to be cool with the chop or not, you know. A lot of cops are, but all right, cool, he's leaving. He's leaving the parkway. Nice. Yeah, dude. See, so you don't have to make it pop and bang. Like that was more, I would say, burbles than popping and banging. And so it depends on whether you let off above 3K or below 3K. And so that's like that's the sweet spot right there. Like literally, if it's 2,900 RPMs, it'll pop and bang. At 3,100 RPMs, you'll get the crazy long burble. And so yeah, that's awesome. I'm learning as I'm going. Obviously, I'm just driving it. I was gonna say drive it every single day, but I'm just saying every drive cycle and stuff, I'm just picking up what it can do. So yeah, all right, I'm thinking we're gonna take it to an empty parking lot. All right, so we're at the spot. Let's see if I can do it real quick. I'll try to do it from inside the cabin, and then I'll do it from the back. So it worked. So, and the plane just ruined everything. We got to redo it. All right. That's awesome. All right, let's do it from the outside. This thing gets spicy when it gets hot. It's got a little bit extra crackle right now. I don't ever do that. The only time I do that is when like little kids are passing by and they're like, rev it, you know. So I just do it for fun. I don't do that coming into every single plaza or anything like that. I just do, like I say, like when the kids. 9 times out of 10, it's kids. Every other time, it's just like a guy be like, rev it. So, never a girl. Let's do some more downshifting. Sounds pretty good. I'm definitely learning that shifting above 3,000. Well, actually, this one was right at 3,000. I kind of played it in between. And so I broke even at 3,000. And it gave me one big pop and then a whole bunch of burble. So, like I said, below 3,000, all pops and bangs. Above 3,000, burble. So, it works. So that was above 3,000. So that was a lot more burble than it was popping. Didn't even try to do that on purpose. That sounds wicked. That sounds very illegal. Dude, I love these poles. Wow. That downshift's nuts. Listen to that. So if you downshift much higher up in the RPMs, you'll get that very high-pitched exotic sound as opposed to getting all those pops and burbles. So once again, now if you don't even want any pops and burbles, you can even downshift aggressively at a much higher RPM, and you don't have to worry about doing that. Like I would say the higher pitch sound that's smooth is probably much more pleasing to everyone else's ears. See, night and day difference. Just depends on where you shift. So the RPM range is very vast in this vehicle now with this tune, so it's awesome because you can get the sounds that you want. One quick thing to note though, straight up, if you're gonna be popping and popping and banging all day, if you're gonna be doing all those crackles and pops, you know, and the aggressive downshifting and stuff like that, you are going to consume your gas. It's bad. It's bad. I was well over a tank of gas. I was like between half and a quarter. Half and a quarter. I suck at math, so I'm trying to explain to you that I was above half a tank of gas, like well above. And now I'm below half a tank. And this drive has literally been 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I did not punch it on the highway or anything. I literally just been reproducing these sounds just for the video effect and all that, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it just, dude, this thing drinks gas like it's water. So here, just keep that. This thing is wicked. I'm just letting it coast down. Dude, this thing picks up speed so fast. So fast. Like, it gives you that crazy adrenaline feel. Dude, this tune is just nuts. And this is how nuts the tune is with the bolt-ons that I have. I don't even have all the bolt-ons. I keep saying that. This car is halfway done, per se. And this is how nuts it is. So put the other half into the equation, and this thing is going to be a monster. Like, I would say this thing, with the stock ZOC, it would probably keep up with the stock ZOC. Wow. Z06. Wow, that's how fried my brain was just now because I was like, the adrenaline was kicking in. But yeah, point being, I was saying, all right, easy. All right, this thing, I would say, heads and cams, they would probably, geez, I said that 3 times. Heads and cams, they would probably keep up with the Z06. Without heads and cams, the Z06 will probably take it, but this thing pulls really, really hard, so I don't know. I'm curious to see how it would line up. It is such a nice, brisk evening, dude. So, also, maybe the air temperature and stuff. Thing sounds nuts. I told you. It gives you almost like that F1 type sound. Wow. Yep. That was exactly 3,100 RPM. So, nailed it on the spot. This thing is amazing. It is a dream to drive. The exhaust alone has broken in now. Like, so, because I've been driving this thing a lot, obviously not with the tune, right? I've been super enjoying my cruises and everything a lot more than before I had the tune, and so I've been taking out the vehicle a lot more often, and so I think I'm breaking in the exhaust. The problem was that, right, I swapped out this exhaust. It only had a couple miles on it. I don't know, maybe even 100 miles on the titanium exhaust, and then I switched it to the what do you call it? Dude, that thing sounds like thunder. That is nuts. Sounds like thunder. Yeah, and so point being, what I was saying was, I had probably like 100 miles on the titanium exhaust, and then I swapped it out for the Corsa that didn't have mufflers on it, and then that thing was insane or whatever, so I had to swap it back. And so then I was like, oh great, I'm back to the titanium exhaust, still doesn't have any sound or whatever, blah blah, right? And now that it's breaking in, right, like I've probably put I wouldn't say 1,000 miles on it, but probably getting close to 1,000 miles on it now. I'm telling you, I've been driving this vehicle a lot. It's starting to sound different. It sounds a lot more aggressive. So for that matter, I'm pretty sure the exhaust it's because it's collecting all the what do you call it, soot, carbon buildup on the inside or whatever, and so that can change resonance and frequencies and all that, right? So yeah, I'm really pleased with the sound of the exhaust now. So yeah, this is dope. Thank God. This person was in front of me, and this is a twisty road, so I kind of wanted to give it a little bit more gas. So. This thing moves around those turns, dude. I love this thing. Oh my God, I am so in love with this car. It took the tune for me to fall in love with the car, but it is nuts. So you get that very high pitched sound, and you don't get any of the pops and burbles and stuff like that. And the reason why I did that is because there was a couple that was walking with like their grandparents and like a baby and stuff like that. So I really didn't want it to right there, whatever. That sound right there that you just heard, the high pitched rev. Like I say, it's much more pleasing. I don't know, like easier on the ears. That's at 2,500 RPMs flat. That gives you those like machine gun bursts. I'm like drooling. I just spit a little bit or whatever. Like, that's how excited I am talking to you guys about this. Literally, as soon as I downshift one, it opens up. But if I'm just cruising right now in D, right, which is what I do, it's not obnoxious. Like if there was a police officer next to me, it's not popping and banging. It's not revving, echoing off of everything. It's not, well, it's a little bit of an echo. It is louder than obviously many exhausts, right? Like many exhausts that will be on the road at the same time. But all right, well, that's an unexpected pop. I didn't do that on purpose, but that's nothing compared to what we've been hearing. But point being, it's very, very pleasant and it's very doable. Like you can drive this all day, every day. And you don't have to be that guy that I've been for like the last 3 weeks now. So, yeah, just the world is yours. I don't know why I quoted Scarface. I'm in the mood to watch it tonight, though. So I have been thinking about it all day. That's the move tonight. That's the move. Just wanted one. Just wanted one. Pops and bangs are so dope on this thing. Sounds so good. Alright, why is that? Get out of the way. Okay, I guess everyone's turning into the block. It is a dream. Dude, it is such a nice sunset. It is such a nice sunset. All right, let's get on it a little bit. Dude, I'm telling you, this exhaust is just wicked. Man, it sounds so good. I'm thinking, let's do a parking garage. right, dope. All right, this will work. This will work. Ooh, steep hill. Raise the vehicle. Okay, this is gonna work. This is gonna be awesome. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get. I'm not bothering it. I'm just in the parking garage. All right. Oh man, I hope I don't set off alarms though. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to be that dick, right? Like, what if you just parked your car here, you're visiting family or whatever like that, and then actually there's not really any cars here. There's one in the back. All right, this will work. This will work. That's nuts. All right, let's do it outside. All right, let's do a downshift though. Dude, this was gnarly. I'm so happy we decided to do this. All right, well, I'm out. Time to get out of this area. Don't draw any suspicion to ourselves. I would laugh if that was like a cop turning in. I'd be like, hey, I literally just got in my car and I'm heading to the grocery store. Yep. So if you downshift at 2,000 RPMs, it'll barely pass 3,000 mark and you'll get that one loud pop. So, all right, now I know. So I've got control of all the different types of popping, it sounds so silly saying popping and banging, but I've got control of the popping and banging, the burbles, the high pitched revs without any burbles or popping and banging, blah, blah. So, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, see? So as long as you shift either below 3,000 RPMs or well above 3,000 RPMs, you won't even get a pop when you shift up. So yeah, you're in full control. You're in full control of the exhaust system, which is great, because then that way you can be as quiet as you want to be, or, well, relatively speaking, right? You can be as quiet as you want to be, or you can be as annoying as you want to be. So the choice is yours. This thing is so fast. I cannot get enough of how fast this thing is. Dude, this thing is wild. This thing is so wild. Man, this thing is such a blast to drive. Trust me, when you get the tune, it becomes a whole different car. Like, I assume you're probably going to enjoy your C8, right, when you get it, and you're going to love Corvette and all that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it. I love it too. But I'm telling you, when you get these things tuned, it's like a totally different, I was going to say ball game, but totally different car. That was second in first gear. That's awesome. That is awesome. We may or may not be at my office, but I figured this is probably the quietest and most isolated parking garage, because it's in the middle of nowhere, so it should work. This should work. Actually, it's not long enough, but maybe we can make it work. It's not long enough like the stretch, but we'll see. I think it's louder in here than it was in yesterday's parking garage. Could just be the acoustics in here, but yeah, it's a lot louder. Dude, that's nuts. All right, let's do something. All right, we'll do a downshift from second gear. All right. Acoustics are sounding just right. All right, so now let's pull back on the paddle. That was a lot louder. That was a lot louder than last night. It might not. It might not have been, but there was so much background noise last night. This sounds a lot louder because there's nothing else in the background right now. It's just me being super annoying here. Dude, that is nuts. That is nuts. All right, let's do some stuff from outside.
Dude, listen to that thing. This thing is echoing so much in here.
It's so loud in here. Wow. Wow. You just accelerate more aggressively, and then that way it's like it knows you want to go, so it'll do the pops for you. So like if I give it some gas right now, see, I didn't downshift. That was just the vehicle downshifting on its own in D. So dude, that's awesome. That is so awesome. It gives you such a nice sound. What is this person doing? Get out of the way. Dude, I'm telling you, the pops get a lot better during the upshifts once you got on it a little bit, right? And so I don't know what the science is behind it, but it's nice. It's like you warmed up the vehicle, right? So you gave it a little bit of throttle and everything. You're having some fun, and then now the upshifts are much more crisp. So I'm learning that too. See, you barely have to flip the throttle in D, and it does it. That's awesome. It's so nice. This car is definitely a track weapon. Oh man. I love it. I love it. I'm probably not going to catch that light. I'll just downshift for fun. Dude. Oh, I love this car. Dude, sounds so good under overpasses.
Yeah, that was the longest video I think I've ever made. It took forever to upload to YouTube. So yeah, I really hope you like it, because it like took 2 hours to upload to YouTube. Yeah, I wanted to cover everything. You guys could obviously see all my emotions in the video, so I wanted to get that point across, right? Like just how excited, how giddy you're gonna get when you feel the difference. But then not just that, I wanted to explain in detail for you all, right? Like what the vehicle is like once it's tuned. And then obviously I wanted to produce as much sound so you guys could hear it inside and outside of the vehicle. And I personally, obviously, I love pops and bangs, right? So that for me, it just blows my mind. Other people might not like pops and bangs. If you don't want pops and bangs, you don't need to have pops and bangs. I wanted it. So that's the beauty of getting tuned. You are telling the tuner what you want to get out of it, what your end goal is. And then they tailor your tune to your preferences. So I was just like, go balls to the wall with everything. And that's exactly what I got. Some other people just want the performance and they don't really want the added sound. Boom, you've got that too. So yeah, speaking of all this right now, I wish I could have kept the car. I didn't even have the car for that long. February 2025 is when I took ownership. And then I sold it December 31st of 2025, so not even a year. And the vehicle, I love that vehicle. I love that vehicle. I love that vehicle almost as much as I love my C7. Yeah, I mean, it sounded the part, it acted the part, it just brought me so much joy. Every single day I loved looking at it. I mean, it was my baby, just like the C7 was. You know, so I think that's why I saved this video for last, because I wanted to go out with like a bang, right? You know, so yeah, I really hope you guys like the video, because I had a lot of fun doing it. And I guess maybe another reason why I kind of was holding on to all these clips and everything on my phone, because usually when I upload the video and I already stitched everything together, I delete everything off the phone. But because I just wanted to keep looking at the stuff since I don't have the vehicle anymore. I'm waiting on my new car. So yeah, so I hope you guys like this video, because I put a lot of time and effort into it. So yeah, and then you guys will see my new car soon enough. So it's getting built right now, and I'm not gonna say anything, it's gonna be epic. So if you like that video, go and click that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you all soon. All right, bye.